This week on the 77% Street Debate.
The conflict is all about cow and land. That is just it.
As I'm speaking to you now, my people is not in their home because they are coming to attack us.
You cannot just come into someone's settlement and want to claim ownership or right to that person's settlement. I think that's one of the major issues.
It's a time for them now to modernize their system of herding.
There are many approaches we can adopt to create like a lasting solution. It needs to come from all of the stakeholders.
Hello and welcome to the 77% Street Debate. This week we are back in Nigeria's capital of Abuja. Now, did you know that this country, and specifically the north of this country where we're at, is home to one of the largest nomadic populations in the world? But this group of herders is saying that because of pressures, both external and internal, they're threatened that their way of life may no longer exist. And so today we're here to find out, between farmer and herder, who really has a right to exist? And should this even be a question? Who better to ask this question than some herders and farmers right here in Abuja? And I want to begin with Alamin. We're here in your beautiful homestead. Thank you for having us. But all around us are modern homes. So how has your existence changed because of urbanization and modernization?
For us, it's very difficult because our cows right now, we lost the deserts, no grasses. So everywhere is building and farmers. So it's very difficult for us because it's no grasses. So we are losing our cows.
Yeah, but when people hear about your cows, they might not believe that you're able to have cows in the city. But you didn't start when the city looked like this. How was it when your great-grandfathers started?
Before here is no city in here. All here is bush, is deserts. We are here with our cows. So all here is grasses. So no softness. Our cows, then they have been fine with too. But now, the situation is not like that because of the city and the farmers. For the bush, the lives of bandits. So we are finding it difficult now for our business to run the cow in the city because Nigerian government are not like cow in the city.
So let me come to him. He's one of the farmers on our panel today. So we're hearing that the herders are under an immense amount of pressure. Urbanization, the bush is not safe because of bandits, and unfortunately, there's conflict between farmers and now herders. What is it like from your perspective?
This issue of insecurity is also affecting us as a farmers. We don't know anything. We don't know how to do anything. It is only this farming we know, we learn, and we inherit from our forefathers. But today, I am telling you, we find it very difficult to go to the farm.
Has your farm ever been raided, or have your harvests been eaten by animals from herders?
Of course, several times.
So you think there's definitely a problem or a crisis of leadership when this issue is concerned?
Yes, and another one. I think the way we modernize our own farming system, the herders also need to modernize their own farming system. This century that we are, I think the time has passed for a herder to be rearing his animal in the open land like that.
But what gives you the right to say that when they are not telling you to farm differently? You made that decision.
The time has passed for a herder to be rearing his animal from Maiduguri to...
Okay, let me just quickly ask the herders here, because I think it's only fair to give them a chance to respond. Alamin, you're the farmer here actively. Your cows are probably out there. Is it sensible, viable, or even fair to be asked to change how you do things, to modernize it?
For me, it's not like that because this is our cows. Before we are in the bush before the farmers coming, you know. We are in the bush before they come. They didn't allow the place where our cow go get grasses to chop. They will farm all the place. So this is a problem. So when they farm all the place, you have your cow, you feel that place is your home, and somebody come and farm all the place.
Okay, let me ask Audu here, who is another one of our farmers on the panel. I was joking with you earlier because you studied science and ended up in farming. But listening to what Alamin is saying, that their ancestors arrived long before the farmers who then came to carve out pieces of property for farming. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I don't think I totally agree with what he's saying because you cannot just come into someone's settlement and want to claim ownership or right to that person's settlement. I think that's one of the major issues, because if the people are saying, like from where I'm from in Southern Kaduna, if the people are saying your cows are causing our farmland harm, you understand? So you just need to respect it. You don't need to say that you must do what you want to do in people's lands. It doesn't work that way. There will always be conflict.
Yeah, these are very serious things that you're saying. People killed, villages deserted. It's definitely led to violence. Why?
Right from when I was small, I used to go to my villages and they are Fulanis. Like, we stayed peacefully, no issue. And I think from what I understand during that past government, I think they said the issue started because there were some Fulani that migrated, and while they were moving along, there was a religious crisis that sprung up, and they were caught up in it and were killed. So this has been something that has led to the attack and reprisal attack. But if you have to still check it, if people of a particular settlement are trying to say that we don't want to entrench in all our lands because we are the owners of this land and this is our forefathers' land and we are known for farming in this particular land. You can't just come here and ask us to leave our land for you to feed your cows. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. Halima, I see your hand, but I want to introduce Sadia here for a second, because it sounds like Alamin and Audu are saying the same thing. It's a battle for resources. Alamin says his forefathers were here long before the farmers. Audu says his forefathers were here long before the herders. So who's right?
Well, I would say they're all right, because in every settlement or every environment, there are different kind of cultures. There are different people that live in a particular place. I think the major cause of all this is lack of understanding for each other. Our ancestors, as of then, whenever they are having issues of cattle eating their farm products, they do report the cases to the local leaders. And from there, you will see they'll compensate them or have to apologize to the farmer. But as of nowadays, they don't do that anymore. They don't even maybe report the cases to the local leader. They decide taking the law into their hands.
Halima, you also come from the Fulani, which is this nomadic community that we're talking about. But herding is your way of life. So if you're being removed from the city, where do you go?
I think I'll say really people are being pushed back to the bush, but then the bush is not safe as it is. Urbanization changed a lot of things for us as a people. While we're trying to find the balance, whether to stay in the urban areas because of security, at least basic amenities and security, you're thinking about, is it possible to do the modern Ruga in the city?
Sorry, what's Ruga? You have to explain to our global viewers.
Okay, Ruga is like a settlement for the Fulani community, nomadic community. That's where we stay. I mean, with the kind of structures you're seeing right now that looks like you're in the forest. Yeah, that's what Ruga is. And because of no balance, that the urbanization is taking over everything for us, it's difficult for people to really leave and their means of sustenance being able to keep it in one place.
So Babangida here is a researcher on this topic. The cows are your identity. But it wasn't always the case that there was conflict between herders and farmers, as he's mentioned. So where did this all come from?
The issue of farmers and herders in Nigeria is something that is, for long, it was there. The conflict is all about cow and land. That is just it. And any other thing is just an ethnicity. In most cases, other languages used to have cows and they used to farm as well. But you will not hear any crisis in that region or in that specific community. But when it comes to a Fulani man, cows, even before he came there, you will now start seeing people saying, hey, Fulani, Fulani, Fulani. So that ethnic discrimination and this ethnic of a thing had caused us a lot.
Okay, now I would have loved to ask a government official at this point what the law says. Are there no regulated areas for farming? Are there no regulated areas for grazing? But unfortunately, the person we invited from the Ministry of Livestock just did not show up. In which case, I have to ask you, Halima, because you're a journalist. What does the law say about demarcation of land for grazing and for farming?
The laws of Nigeria or the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria stipulates land for all of these things. There are different portions in the Constitution that stated for farmers, this is where you should be, and for the cattle breeders too as well. So that's where the policymakers are supposed to come to make sure that there is always balance. While the farmers got the right to do some certain things, the cattle breeders too need the space because you've pushed them out of most of the places that they know, and they all know just the normal movement around.
Okay, so Babangida, I want to come to you because in your research, you've probably heard what some potential solutions are. And your government has rolled out a program, the National Livestock Transformation Program, which is supposed to convert open herding into ranching. Is this feasible? Is this what might solve the problem?
Honestly, we don't need to deceive ourselves. I don't think if it is longer sustainable. One, there is no land for that. There is environmental factor of any kind, climate factor, and land encroachment, either by farmers or any other people. But what I want to tell you is that way of nomadic way of life we knows before is not longer sustainable. In fact, farmers in even the express road now, the express road that we used to have, because before there must have been a buffer zone. Before you see farm very close to road, it's not that common. But now they will farm until they reach the third road even.
Let me ask Audu that, because this is an accusation directly to farmers that there's no follow through with authorities. Is this true that you're just loosely accusing the Fulani, even though they might not be responsible?
No, I can clearly understand with what they are saying because they are not entirely wrong. Because the truth is that not all the herders are bad people. There are good herders. What about the bad ones amongst them? If you know the bad ones that are spoiling the name of your ethnicity and you are not really bringing them to justice, what do you think will become of? Because right now, people are already beginning to see the whole of Fulani as a bad people.
Okay, but sorry to interrupt you, but this is very interesting because you've now stopped referring to the individuals behind us as herders and as ethnicity, Fulani. Yeah. So when does it stop becoming farmer and herder and Fulani versus everybody else?
That's what I'm trying to say. You know, when the Fulanis are ready to exonerate themselves from all these things, I think they need to understand that people are already beginning to see them in bad light. And if they are really to come up with that consciousness, I think they'll be able to find ways to resolve this issue by enlightening their people and making their people understand that this is where this thing is heading to. And we don't want our ethnicity to be portrayed in bad light. You cannot just go and be encroaching on people's land, and if you know people that are involved in these things, you can report them, you understand, so that they can be brought to justice.
All right, let me ask Sadia here, because I come from a country where ethnic tensions are very real, and I know that sweeping stereotypes can be very dangerous. What have you experienced as a result of this, hearing that the Fulanis do this, the Fulanis are this and the other?
Actually, it's not nice, because they already turned Fulani people to be a very bad ones, and which is not supposed to be like that. You know, in every country or every humans, we have the bad one and the good one, as he said as well. So not when maybe Mr. A destroy your crops or Mr. A did this to you, then you categorize all as one. And secondly, there is this thing I am seeing online. You will just see a farmer will go to his farm, he will meet his farm being destroyed. Instead of him investigating on who did this or who did that, he won't even do that. And he won't even find if actually is the man or the boys that did that. They will just go straight to the house where the women live and taking actions on the innocent ones. This is very bad.
When you say take action on the innocent ones, what exactly do you mean?
This is what I mean by that. Killing each other, causing more harms on each other, destroying things, setting their houses ablaze, and the rest.
Yeah, Halima, I want to come back to you because in doing my research, I realized that at some point during 2016, the number of deaths from this conflict was higher than that of deaths inflicted by Boko Haram, which completely shocked me. So when the violence has become so bloody, is there any way to find resolution?
Yeah, I think there are multiple ways to find resolution to the problem. First, we need to deal with the problem of demonization of a particular ethnic group. So the problem got to this place because people decide to demonize the Fulanis for anything that goes wrong in the farm that looks like it's cattle that caused whatever the damage is.
Please pause there.
Yeah.
Musa, let me just ask you, be honest. Is this true?
No. Let me clear the air on the misconception of some Nigerians. When we say herders, we address it as Fulani. It's not all the herders that are Fulani. Yeah. If you go to the livestock ministry, this new ministry that was created, you will find out the number of the association that was registered there. Some of them, they cannot even speak full for this. And another thing, the population, the number of population that we are getting every day is one of the major cause of this misunderstanding between herders and farmers. And the best way to resolve this problem is to get back to the earlier relationship between herders and farmers.
Okay. But Halima, to come back to you, the way things were in the past was these sorts of conflicts were dealt with by traditional leadership. Does that still happen today? And do you feel like the government is doing enough?
Really, I would not say the government is doing enough. There is a lot of room for improvement. The traditional way that we know before, urbanization quashed that. Because maybe before this settlement, there are just maybe 10 families living in this place, and you know everyone in the family, 5 kids in this family, 2 kids in the other family. But then you're not able to get the same thing because of population explosion, urbanization. So people take more wives and the urbanization brings more people, and you're not able to track the number of people that are living in a place. Of course, data can do that. If the government can invest in it, it will do that. But it's going to be difficult to go back to the old way due to population explosion and urbanization.
So decisive action can only be taken when policy is implemented and government does something about it. So Alamin, I want to ask you the same question I asked Halima. Do you feel like the government is taking this issue seriously?
So I don't feel like that because of we Fulani, we are seen like government, they don't allow us for back. They are not taking action for about our businesses. Because since I grow, I born here. So this is the second time that I see people, they are coming to asking how we are running the business about our cows.
I'm very surprised that we are the second people to come and ask you about how your life is. Yes. So who was the first person to come and ask?
Is Uwais.
Uwais, who is also part of our team. So well done, DW. So on the question of sustainability, Babangida, because there is urbanization, it's true. There is banditry, it's true. But there's also climate change, which is causing the severe desertification that's pushing herders further to the south. How do we have sustainable farming and sustainable herding alongside each other?
Is for us all to go back to the traditional leaders right from the ward, or let me say unit, ward and the state level. They are the only one who can solve the problem of herders and farmers. Within their own jurisdiction, if something will happen and they know the number of people there, they know the settlement of this man, they know the settlement of this one, whoever did a damage, they will be able to track him in a very short time. You see, we like our animals and they like their farms. But what we have to do is for us to come. If you are going to farm, make sure you didn't touch the cattle roads that will lead the grazing people to go and graze their cattle either in the hillside or the riverine areas.
Okay.
But by blocking everywhere, how do you expect them?
So let me ask Musa if he's aware of these grazing routes that Babangida is talking about, which is fair, that if he wants his cattle to pass through somewhere, he needs to be given that somewhere for them to pass. Are you aware of these routes?
Yes, I'm aware. That is why I say the time has passed for a herder to be rearing his animal from Sokoto to Maiduguri. It's a time for them now to modernize their system of herding. Because coupled with the population, as he said, farmers too get it very difficult for them to get the fertile land to farm. But the most important thing is for government to come into this matter.
Okay. Sadia, as all the challenges are unfolding, unfortunately, the people who are disproportionately affected for the worse tend to be women. Is it the case in this conflict?
Yeah, because let me say, I see no reason why I will be at home and damage will be caused in your farm and I will be the one paying for the crime. It's not meant to be like that. And secondly, my husband will be going out and I'll be thinking about him. How is he doing? Is he in a good hand? Stuff like that. All these kind of things are really affecting the women at home.
So let me hear from some people at the back. Does anybody have some views that they want to contribute? You look like you want to say something.
Government has to put more emphasis on educating these people and coming up with applications that will help these herders to point out the areas reserved to them by government in order to take their animals to go and take care of that. So I think technology can play a good role in resolving this issue.
Got it. Any other views? Yeah.
I think adaptation to changes. You see, the herders and the farmers, everybody is talking about, we have inherited this, we have inherited that. But if you'll ask that farmer, that how many are you when you started your family? Only his wife and himself. So the quantity of the food they will cook in that family is truly meager. But as time goes on, he gave birth to one child, two child, he is going to expand. So people should give room for changes. The herders should understand that no matter how much you think your forefathers have been able to live, time have come that you must have to change. The farmer also need to understand that as far as you are concerned, as a farmer, you need the herder. And no matter how you think you are important as a herder, you need a farmer because you cannot only feed on what you are rearing.
Ma'am, I can remember his olden days we are living so peacefully, so beautiful. We eat with each other. But in these days, I don't know what is going on about this killing, attacking people, other things. We don't like it. We too, we like peace. It's not easy. As I'm speaking to you now, my people is not in their home because they are coming to attack us. And we don't know. We appreciate them. We welcome them. We have enough land. We have enough place for them to live. By now, my people doesn't go to the farm. We farm the one that's back of the house.
Yeah. It sounds like you're pained by this issue. Oh, I'm sorry. This is something very personal for you.
It's very personal because why? They kill one of my family, join them inside the house and kill them, which is we don't like it. And we were not the type that we will go and meet them and fight together. No. We are Christians. We like peace as a Christians. We like everybody. We like to live in harmony.
Thank you very much for being honest and sharing that with us. So that's obviously brought a deep sense of reality as to what exactly is happening here. Because I'm sure if we ask other settlements, they'll have similar stories of their kin being killed. So the question is, how do we find a solution? How do we end this madness, Halima?
There are many approaches we can adopt to create like a lasting solution to the problem, but it's like a multi-dimensional thing. It needs to come from all of the stakeholders, from the government in terms of policies, traditional institutions. Let them actually take back their roles before colonization and all that. And then for the warring parties or communities, we need to come back together and remember that Nigeria should come first. And when it comes to implementation, we should all go in, everyone play their role, yeah.
All right. I'd like to hear from you. How do we make sure that farmers and herders sit on the same table, as the lady so beautifully put it?
Yeah, like I said from the beginning, I think I agreed with what the researcher said. If the government can involve the leaders at the grassroots and give them the power, give them the resources, and make them understand that you want them to make sure that those involved in this crime are being brought to book and are persecuted, you understand? I think it will go a long way in solving this issue.
Okay. Musa, I'd like to hear from you as well. Solutions?
The solution is what I said earlier. The leaders from the grassroots, government should involve in selecting them, because some of the leaders from the grassroots are not clean. They are using that as an opportunity for them to generate money from the herders and even farmers. And another one that I want to also tell you, especially for you media, should always know that it's not all the herders that are Fulanis, and it's not all the farmers that are maybe Hausa or Baju or the tribe. All the tribes are interchanging. So you should also take note of that one.
So to remove the ethnicity from this equation. All right, Babangida, let me hear from you. Some solutions?
It's high time for us, the youths of the farmers and the herders, to be coming together. Okay. Let us be engaging with each other. Let us remove ethnicity. Let us come together. The youths from the both ethnic sides and the traditional leaders, let them be included in such a committees that will sensitize the community on the need for peace and conflict resolution.
Sadia.
As my brother said, I think all we need is understanding for each other. We should understand each other very well. The Fulani man need a farmer and the farmer need the, so we should just understand each other and show much love and care to each other. That's all I have to say.
So, Alamin, I began this debate with you, and I'd like to end it with you. When you cast your vision into the future, how do you see your life unfolding? And do you see it perhaps living side by side with a farmer harmoniously and in peace?
So it's very good because the farmer and the Fulani, they are together, because any place that cow live, the farmer can come ask you whether you go leave the place, you can come to like to farm the place because of the manure. This our cow is our business. It's the thing that we know. We have the population. We are plenty. So if we lost this cow, like we don't lose our life. So I like the government please to do something about us.
Wow, okay. At the beginning of this debate, I asked a very complex question. Who gets to survive between herder and farmer? And is it even a question? I think it's been a resounding yes. Or rather, a resounding no from everybody here, that you don't have to choose, that farmer and herder can and will live side by side if there is government intervention. This has been a wonderful debate. I've learned so much. I hope you have too. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.